Alright, so this is officially try number 2 for my Sirocco Elite fan for on the wall. The first one that came, I spent maybe 4 or 5 hours trying to get it to work, but no matter what I did, I could not get it to turn on. So, talked with the supplier. They said it might be just a faulty unit, although that's rare. I guess it does happen hypothetically, and maybe it just happened to me. So, try number 2. I'm just praying that this works, because it takes forever to send it back and to get a new one, and I really want to wrap this part of the project up. So let's see if this works. I'm gonna uncover my wiring in the wall and then splice it into the wiring for this fan and mount the plate, and you're gonna watch the whole thing, or maybe just 2 minutes because, you know, you're bored, or I don't know, 20 minutes, who knows, maybe you'll subscribe. Probably not. Ha! Got him! Alright, so we've unpacked the fan. The contents are pretty simple. You've got your wire here for, this is what comes with the fan, and this is what attaches to the 2 posts on the bottom, positive and negative. The negative is the one with the gray stripe. They're both white, but one has a gray stripe. Then there's a bunch of little washers and nuts to attach these to the posts. Then there's a back plate, and this is what goes, you attach this to the wall, and then it has little grooves, and the fan comes onto it and then notches down and locks into place. I'm just going to attach this straight to my paneling because the fan only weighs maybe 3 pounds or so, and I think the paneling can take it. If it can't, then we're going to find out, and it's going to be a very rude awakening, but we're going to hope it can. So let's get this process started. I'm going to attach the provided wires to the bottom of the fan, and then mount the panel, and then splice my this wire right here, which is already bare, that came with it, to my DC wiring in the wall, and then mount everything and see if it works. Okay, here's the big test. So we have our positive and our negative wires connected via end cap connectors, which is real simple. You just make sure you have bare wire on both of the respective wires, so positive and negative. Then you intertwine them. So a great way to do it is to split the copper of the larger wire apart, kind of like pigtails, both go in different directions. Then you take the smaller wire, intertwine it with one of those clumps, and then wrap that second clump of the bigger copper wire around both of those. And then you shove it into this and turn this clockwise, and there's grooves on the inside of these end cap connectors, and it will catch, quote unquote, the wires, and you'll feel it start getting tighter and tighter, and then you just tighten it to your heart's content. I normally do it pretty damn tight because I don't want these coming apart just randomly. And then if this connection works, and if this fan turns on, which I'm only talking to right now because I'm stalling and I don't want to put the fuse into the fuse block to see if this actually works because I'm nervous. But if it does, I'll electrical tape these, shove it all back in the wall, reattach everything, and we are good to go. So here comes the big moment where we go, put our ATO blade fuse into the fuse block. I'm putting a 5 amp fuse into the fuse block for this. This is a 3 or 5 amp ATO blade fuse, which is compatible with my fuse block over there. Now I'm just going to put this into the appropriate block in there, and we should start receiving power into that thing immediately. Hey, that's a good sign. So that didn't happen last time. We have blue lights, which are supposed to show for about 8 seconds. Now they're off. So now let's just push a button and see what happens. Oh my God! Wow!
This is a happy moment. The happiest moment of my life.
All All right, it works. Okay, so we have a timer function, and then we have just simply a power button. Before we tape everything up, let's actually see how much power each mode uses, because I'm just curious. So let's look at what we're using right now. Okay, so right now we're using 30 watts just for the general things going on. So my fridge is on, my wall lights are on, so that's using 30 watts. So let's turn on the low setting and see what happens. Okay, so we are now on the low setting and we're using 33 watts. We're now on the medium setting and we're using 34 watts. Now the high, using 36, between 36 and 35. And then let's do super high. So around 38 or 39 watts on the super high mode, which means the lowest setting uses 1 watt, 2 watts. The next setting, there's a massive breeze coming through the van, sorry. But each setting basically uses 1 to 2 watts, which is almost nothing and just absolutely spectacular. I'm super happy with this. Very glad this model actually worked this time. So I got a faulty one last time, but it went in easily enough. I just screwed it straight through my paneling and into the firming strip behind. I just had screws that were thin enough to fit through the provided holes and long enough to fit all the way through. Then you mount the fan, stick the wires through the mounting plate into the back of your wall, mount the fan, and it goes, you have to push it on and pull down. That's when you know it's mounted. And then if you followed the instructions, you have these nuts in the back of that mount already, and you have the provided screws. You just put them in, tighten them down, and that's what holds the fan to the wall. So let's finish up. Let's electrical tape, let's stuff it all back in there, and another part of the van build done. Overall, incredibly happy with this fan. Super, super, super low power usage, very quiet. I love the way it just fits against the wall. It's 360 gimbal, so it goes every different direction. Very, very happy with it. It doesn't take up much room. That will take up a little bit of headroom on the couch, but considering how long the couch is going to be, that's not going to be very consequential. Happy with it. Link down below for everything. Once I actually got a working unit, everything was really simple. Highly recommend.